Welcome back to Pause to Unedit Yourself, a reflection meets transformation, a podcast that gives you permission to press pause and offers a reflective space for self inquiry. I'm your host, Anushka, and each episode I will be sharing bite sized insights, a collection of thoughts and reflections on topics that I have pondered on through my journey of introspection, soulful insights that have helped me in the hope it will help you too on your path of personal evolution. Whether you're feeling stuck, searching for clarity, or simply wanting to expand, my hope is that this podcast becomes a space of inspiration and deep remembering for you to evolve from within and uncover the infinite potential that exists inside each and every one of you. The last few months and wow, this year has simply just passed by. And there are moments in life when time truly slows down, moments that remind you how fragile, how fleeting, and how precious this journey really is. And for me, especially these past weeks, have really been just that. You see, this year marked a milestone trip around the sun for me. And I thought I'd be ready for it. For years since my last milestone trip around the sun, I imagined it. I imagined it would be a day filled with friends, with laughter, with big, big celebrations. I always love a big celebration. And I've always celebrated all my birthdays in a big way. And I really used to dream of this moment with somewhat of a quiet sort of anxiety, wondering how it would feel when it finally arrived. But the truth is, it looks very different now that I'm here. Because alongside this new chapter, I'm standing here in this space between grief and gratitude, between endings and beginnings. I'm grieving. I'm grieving the passing of my beloved aunt who passed away a week before my birthday last month. And I am also grieving the parts of myself I have shed in order to become who I am today. And as I've shared with others, I've realized I am not alone in this. Many people around me are also navigating transitions, endings, beginnings. And it made me realize no one really prepares you for this part of life. You see, we all seem to talk about growing up, about marriage, about children, but rarely do we talk about growing older or about witnessing the passage of time as loved ones leave this world. You see, time itself has been such a teacher for me. It wasn't long ago, a few years ago, I lost my watch. And I was someone who would always have a watch. I would be regulated with my watch, always being punctual for everything. And so without this watch, I took it as a sign. Maybe I didn't need to keep measuring, counting, rushing. And without it, I've noticed how much freer I feel. My phone still tells me the time, yes, but I no longer have this urge or need to glance down at my wrist every few minutes. And somewhere along the way, I kind of lost sense of time in the best possible way. Because time, I've come to realize, is an illusion. We've never truly been to the future, and the past is already gone. And if you think about it, all we ever have, all we really have, is this moment, the eternal now. And with all of that said and done, every milestone, it brings up this mirror. I will let you into a confession. So I tend to have a little meltdown every 5 years. And this birthday was no exception. But instead of pushing it away, I decided to sit with it to really ask myself, why? What is this really about? I mean, we all grow older, it's the rhythm of life. So, what is it that brings that ache, the panic, the pause? And I realized it's not the number. I realized it's the invitation. Because you see, each milestone asks a very deep question. Are you living aligned? Are you becoming more of who you really are? And that question has led me to reflect deeply on what this journey of life has taught me so far. And it has been a journey of pressing pause, of unlearning, remembering, and returning. See, in that stillness, I've come to know myself more deeply, the self beneath the roles, the masks, and the layers of shoulds. And through that journey, something amazing happened. I found my voice. I found my freedom. And ultimately, I found myself. And earlier this year, I wanted to share my voice. And so I started my podcast, Pause to Unedit Yourself, which really is a space where I share some of this wisdom and soulful reflections. And it's been such joy to turn my inner journey into something I can offer to others and to hold space for others who are also questioning and growing and becoming. So today, I would love to share a few learnings that have stayed close to my heart, the life lessons that have shaped me, that have softened me, and reminded me who I am. Not as rules, not as answers, but really as signposts, things I've learned and unlearned along the way. So, firstly, and it's a big one. Live, don't just exist. We've heard it. It's life is precious. And yet, so many of us get caught in that rat race, in the bubble of doing, that we forget to live. We forget to pause, to breathe, to dance in the kitchen, to laugh until it hurts. We forget that the miracle of life is all around us, waiting to be savored. Life, it passes by so quickly in a blink of an eye, and before you know it, you will say, where did my life go? What did I do? So don't wait. Quit the job that drains you. Go and create something that lights you up and tell the people you love that you love them often. Because the only bank balance you'll never know is how much time you have left. Two, dare to be different. Dare to be you. You see, your life is yours alone. It's not a race. It's not a competition. It's not a comparison. So stop measuring your path against somebody else's. Walk your own and trust your timing. Trust that you are enough exactly as you are. I was so scared to start this podcast. I wondered who would listen to it and what could I possibly offer. And yet, 5 months later, there are hundreds of you tuning in from all over the world. And that's the magic of daring. Sometimes you just have to leap, sometimes you just have to start. You were born to create, not just consume. So do what makes you happy and be unapologetically, wildly you, because you weren't born to blend in. You were born to stand out. Three, we are all works in progress. Yes, we are. We are all learning. We're all growing. And the universe meets us where we are when we stay open to love, open to receiving, open to being surprised. And I realized that although I might have felt and dreamt I should be somewhere else in my life, I'm actually exactly where I need to be because every rejection is a redirection. And life, like Google Maps, will always reroute you back to where you need to go. And this path that we're on, it's actually a pathless path. You never get the whole map. You never get to see the whole staircase. You only get shown the next step, which is why it's so important to live and be present in this moment, in this eternal now, because this present moment is all that we really have. There is No backstage pass to the future, no rewind button for the past. Just this breath, this moment. We don't get to skip chapters in the book. We get to read each letter and word. So be here for it fully, because the now is where all the magic lives, even if it's messy and slightly awkward. 4. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your brain is this wizard. It believes what you repeat. Your thoughts, it creates feelings. Feelings drive actions, and actions shape your reality. And what you think becomes your experience. Our brain is constantly rewiring itself with new information. So when you repeat something with enough intention and emotion, you can change your reality. So be mindful of your inner language and cast good spells. And don't tell yourself horror stories. Change your thoughts and you change your life. You don't have to believe everything you think. You can feel your way into a new way of being. And remember, anything is possible. It's only your mind that creates limitations. 5. Change is the only constant. This one was a big one for me because during my silent Vipassana meditation last year, this truth landed deeply. Nothing stays the same. The only certainty is uncertainty, and growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the unknown. And part of growth is letting go. It's letting go of what no longer serves you, letting go of pouring yourself into cups that don't want to be filled. This used to upset me a lot, having people close in your life who would then disappear or slowly fade out. But as I've come to realize, this is life. Each chapter of the book teaches you something. Some characters make it to the next chapter, and others only make it to the end of that particular chapter. And with each chapter, you have to learn to let go of what no longer serves you so that you can grow and evolve into the highest expression of yourself. And this aspect of letting go is hard because it's easier to stay in the comfort zone. But in order to grow, you have to be open to receiving new opportunities and really remove that mindset of guilt and shame that keeps you small, that keeps you believing you are not worthy of receiving. But receiving, I realize, also works the other way. Because if you're a natural giver, no matter how pure your intention is, you can't pour into someone who is not willing to receive. Because some people are just not looking to grow. So, actually, that's an act of self love when you realize that. You need to let go of what is draining your energy because your energy is to create, not consume. So learn when to pour into a cup that is open to receiving your love, your truth, and know when the cup is full and walk away. And 6, believe in yourself. And I say this to all my nieces and nephews. I always say this: there is no such thing as I can't. There's only I can or I haven't figured it out yet. Believe in yourself, trust in your uniqueness, trust in your journey. And maybe the greatest lesson of all: life is short, time is sacred. It's your most precious, non refundable, non exchangeable, use it or lose it commodity. So spend it well, choose joy, dance often, collect moments, not things, love deeper, say the words while you still can. Because this is it. This is the gift. You only get one go in this particular costume. So go big, be real, live loud, love deeper, get creative. Quit the job you don't like and stop making excuses and start having faith. Do what makes you happy. And as I reflect on this milestone, what I know for certain is this: I am grateful. I am so grateful for all the lessons, for all the losses, for the love, for the chance to be here, alive, awake, and becoming. And maybe that's all that really matters. I thought I would have had the words to say everything that's been sitting in my heart. But what I've learned is that not everything needs to be polished or perfectly expressed. And some things are meant to be felt, carried, and breathed through. So if you're listening to this, consider this an invitation to look at your own life, not through the lens of what's missing or what's next, but through the lens of gratitude for the journey that has shaped you. Because in the end, the destination, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is how deeply we live along the way. And this episode, it's not about answers, it's about presence. It's about remembering that you are already enough, exactly as you are. As always, your time is valuable, it's the most precious commodity. So, thank you for being here and sharing the space. And thank you for pressing pause and choosing to journey inwards and daring to become the highest expression of yourself.